Good day children, welcome to your English class. Today we are going to deal with a very important topic, direct and indirect speech. There are many occasions in which we need to talk about an event or incident that happened or action that happened. And very often it includes repeating the dialogue said by a person. It can be for a social situation or for work purpose. Now there are two different ways in which we repeat the dialogue said by a person. Either we use the exact words said by a person, or we use the statement in which we change a few words in the sentence. So this is what we call as direct and indirect speech. Let's look at the slide. If we use the exact words of the speaker, then we call it as direct speech. For example, the teacher said to Rajesh, "You have a bright future." So I am saying to someone what the teacher has said about Rajesh. So either I will say that the teacher said to Rajesh, "You have a bright future." So if I use the exact word, that is what we call as direct speech. Whereas if I put it in this way, the teacher told Rajesh that he had a bright future, then this is what we call as indirect speech. Here I have changed a few words in the dialogue. So what we report to someone that the speaker has said without using the exact words is what we call as indirect speech. Indirect speech is also called as reported speech because we are reporting the dialogue to someone. So that is also called as reported speech. So these are the examples of direct and indirect speech. In direct speech, the dialogue is, "He said, I am playing." When you change it into indirect speech, it becomes, "He said that he was playing." Now the next one, "She said, I saw him." So when you change it into indirect speech, it becomes, "She said that she had seen him." Now let's see what are the changes that we have to, what are the things that we have to remember when we change it in, from direct speech into indirect speech. First thing is omission of commas. See, in this dialogue, "He said, I am playing," we saw that it is written in inverted commas, which means it is written in direct speech. So when you change it into indirect speech, you have to omit all these commas. Next is use of that. See here, in this indirect speech, I omitted all these commas and wrote the word that. I have added this word, right? So we need to write that when you change it into indirect speech. Now there are, it's not for all situations. Informal situation, we can avoid the use of that. But formally, we always prefer to write that. Then the third point is change in pronouns. See, in here, I have changed the pronoun I. I is a pronoun, isn't it? I is a pronoun, so I have changed I into he. So we have to change the pronouns in the sentence when you change it into indirect speech. Next is conversion in expressions of time and place. There would be words like a week ago or yesterday, tomorrow, all those words would be there in the dialogue. So when you change it into indirect speech, you have to use the respective word. Okay, so that we'll be discussing in detail. Next thing is changes in modal auxiliaries. You know what are modal auxiliaries, right? Which all are modal auxiliaries, children? Yes. Can, could, will, would, shall, should, all these will come under modal auxiliaries. All these are called as modal auxiliaries. So there will be changes in modal auxiliaries as well when we change it into indirect speech. Okay, so let's discuss in detail about each point. The first point was about inverted commas, second point was about the word that, and the third one is about changes in pronouns. Okay. So change in pronouns, personal pronouns I, you, she, he, they, and possessive adjectives his, my, her, your undergo changes while reporting in indirect speech. We know that these are personal pronouns, not all the personal pronouns. We are talking about I, you, she, he, they. When these personal pronouns come in a sentence, that we have to change it. Okay? And also possessive adjectives, his, my, her, your. You know what is a possessive adjective, right? The words which shows the possession. Okay, so these words, when these possessive adjectives come in a sentence, then also we have to make changes in the sentence. Now let's start with I. We know that I is called as first personal pronoun, right? So when I comes in a sentence, we have to change it into the same person as the subject of the reporting verb in direct speech. Okay, now let's see that, how it should be written. See, here the dialogue, she said, I enjoy listening to music, listening to the music. This is the dialogue that we have to change it into indirect speech. Now, we know that there is a pronoun I mentioned in the dialogue. So, when I comes, what do you have to do? You have to write it as the same person of the subject, as the subject of the reporting verb. Reporting verb, said is what we call as reporting verb. Okay. So, what is the subject of the reporting verb? She is the subject of the reporting verb. So, we have to use the same person or same gender of the subject when I comes. So, the sentence will be personal pronoun I will change to she, because we are using the same person or same gender of the subject given in the reporting verb. So, the sentence would be, she said that she enjoyed listening music. See, here we are focusing only about the pronoun. Okay. So, that's why I am not talking about the tenses here. Tenses we shall do it later. We shall do later. So, here I has been changed to she. Next example. He said, I like to read books. So, we understood that I is there in the personal pronoun I is there in the dialogue. So, when you change it into indirect speech, what do you have to do? You have to take the subject of the reporting verb. You have to use the same person of the subject of the reporting verb. What is the subject of the reporting verb here? Reporting verb is said here, right? What is the subject of the reporting verb? He is the subject. So, we have to use the same person or same gender instead of I. So, the same gender, he, it is a male gender. So, same person we are using. He, we replace I with he. Okay. So, the dialogue would be, he said that he liked to read books. Understood? Now, the next one regarding the possessive adjective. Possessive adjective in direct speech changes to the same person as the subject of the reporting verb. Okay. Whenever the possessive adjective my, your and all will come, you need to take the subject of the reporting verb. Okay. He said, my bag is red. What is the possessive adjective here? Yes, my is the possessive adjective, right? So, when my comes, you have to take the same person of this as the subject of the reporting verb. What is the subject here? He. So, we have to take the same gender. So, my will be changed to his, and the dialogue, the sentence would be, he said that his bag was red. Okay. We are replacing the possessive adjective my as the same person of the subject of the reporting verb. Okay. Next sentence. She said, my parents want to meet Sita. So, we understood that possessive adjective my is there in the sentence. So, we have to replace it with the same person of the subject of the reporting verb. What is the subject of the reporting verb? She is the subject. So, we use that pronoun. So, she, it is a female gender. So, we have to use her here. Okay. So, the sentence would be, she said that her parents want to meet Sita. Next is second pronoun you. Okay. We know that you is called as second pronoun. I is called as first pronoun. So, when you comes in a sentence, what change you have to make? when you changes to the same person as the object of the reporting verb. When I came, we took the subject, the same person of the subject of the reporting verb. When you comes, you have to take the object of the reporting verb. Let's look at this sentence, children. Nisha said to him, "You are an intelligent boy." So we know that said is the reporting verb. So here, what is the object? Yes, him is the object. So we have to take the same person of the object of the reporting verb. So instead of you, we replace it with this person. That is, it's a male person, right? So instead of you are an intelligent boy, we say he. Okay? And we write the sentence as Nisha told him that he was an intelligent boy. Okay? So you is being changed to the same gender of the object. Object is him here, so it's a male gender, so that should be replaced with he. Next one, when the possessive adjective your comes in a sentence. The possessive adjective your changes to the object of the reporting verb, changes to the person of the object of the reporting verb. For example, Alok said to me, "Your parents are in the room." What is the, so we understood that your possessive adjective your has come in the dialogue, so we have to change it. What is said? We have to take the same person of the object of the reporting verb. What is the object here? Me is the object, right? So the same person has to be taken here. So it should be written as my. Alok told me that my parents were in the room. Okay. Next example. John said to Nisha, "Your water bottle is empty." So here the possessive adjective your has come here. It should be same as the person of the object. What is the object here? Nisha. So Nisha is the female gender. So you have to take that. So the sentence would be John told Nisha that her water bottle was empty. So your has been changed to the her. Next one is regarding the third pronoun. We know the third pronoun is he or she. So when he or she comes in a sentence, there is no change. Okay. See, look at the example. She said he enjoys horse riding. So here the third person has been mentioned here. It is a third person pronoun. So there is no change. We have to write the same thing. So the sentence would be, she said that he enjoys horse riding. Okay. So he has been written as he itself, no change. So that is regarding the pronoun. We learnt about the pronouns I, you, and also the possessive adjective my, your, her, and all, right? So the next one is regarding the change in tense. Okay. If the reporting verb in the direct speech statement is in present tense or future tense, then the tense remains same in indirect speech too. That is, no change in tense. If the reporting verb is in present tense or future tense, you know what is a reporting verb, right? What is the reporting verb here, children? We call the word said as reporting verb, isn't it? So the word said, if it is in present tense or in future tense, then there is no change in the tense form of the dialogue. Okay. For example, my friends say he is very handsome. What is the reporting verb here? Say is the reporting verb. We know that say, the verb say is a present form of verb. So because it is written in present form, there is no change in tense. Okay. What is the tense here? Is very handsome, right? Is the tense here. So there is no change in the tense. We write the same thing when we change it into indirect speech. The only thing is that we remove the inverted comma and also add the word that. That's the only change. And if there is pronoun also, you have to change. Okay. So the sentence would be, my friends say that he is very handsome. There is no change in tense because the reporting verb is say, which is written in present form. Now let's look at the next example. My granny will say, you need to eat well. So what is the reporting verb here, children? Yes, will say. We understood that it is in future tense because the word will is used, right? So if will is there, we know that it is in future tense. So here also the reporting verb is in future tense. So we do not have to change the tense. Hence the sentence would be, my granny will say that I need to eat well. Okay. So this you have to remember. If the reporting verb is in present form or in future form, then we do not have to change the tense. What is reporting verb? The word said. Okay. If it is say or will say, then you do not have to change the tense. But if it is said, then you have to change the tense. Now let's see about that. If the reporting verb is in the past tense, the reported speech is changed to the past tense. So if reporting verb is said, then we need to change it into past form. For example, Rohan said, I have to go. Okay, what is the reporting verb here? Yes, said is the reporting verb. So it is in past form. So we have to use the past tense in the sentence. So the sentence would be, Rohan said that he had to go. See here, what is the tense here? Have is the tense that is used, right? So have will be changed to had. When you change it into indirect speech, if the reporting verb is said, then we have to change the tense form. So have will become had. Okay. See here, I is the pronoun used. So what you will do? We have to take the same person of the subject. What is the subject here? Rohan is the subject. So we have to replace it with the male gender he, with the male pronoun he. Okay. So these are the changes that we have to make if the reporting verb is said. Okay, these are the changes that we have to make in tenses if the reporting verb is in said. If am, is or are mentioned in a sentence, then you have to change it into was or were. When am or is comes in a sentence, you have to change it into was, and when are comes in a sentence, you have to change it into were. When was or were comes in a sentence, you have to change it into had been. The tense that you have to change is had been. When has or have comes in a sentence, you have to change it into past form had. When had comes, there is no change. Already it is in past form, so we do not have to change it again. So had itself. Again, when had been also comes in a sentence, we know that it is in past form, so we do not have to change. We write the same tense. But when do comes in a sentence, you have to change it into did. And when did comes in a sentence, you have to change it into had done. See, these are the changes that happens to the tense when you change into indirect speech. Simple present tense will be changed to simple past. All past forms, you need to change all present forms into past forms. Okay. So present continuous should be changed to past continuous. Present perfect should be changed to past perfect. So we are using the respective past form of tense. Next one, simple past. When simple past comes in a sentence, you have to remember that you have to use past perfect tense. Okay. When simple past comes in a sentence, you have to use past perfect tense. When past continuous comes in a sentence, we have to use past perfect continuous tense. Okay. Then when past perfect comes in a sentence, we can use past perfect itself. Okay. Now let's learn it with the example. Okay. This was only as a rough figure I have given you. Now let's look it into detail with the examples. Now we saw that simple present, if the tense in the dialogue is simple present, then we have to change it into simple past. So let's look at the example. Rohan said, I want to go for a movie. Okay. What is the verb here, children? Want is a verb. Okay, so we understood that this is written in simple present form because I is the subject and no S is added along with the verb. Okay, so this is written in simple present form. So how do we change that? Rohan said, we remove the inverted comma and use the word that. Rohan said that I will be changed to he. Okay, because the subject is male gender, so we use the male pronoun he. He want is the present form. So how will you write it in simple past? Wanted. He wanted to go for a movie. Understood? So the first thing what you have to do when you change it into indirect speeches, first thing you have to remove the inverted comma. Second thing you have to write the word that. Third thing you have to change the pronoun. So that is also done. I is a pronoun here. So we took the same gender of the subject of the reporting verb. Here the subject is Rohan, so it is a male gender. So we have to use the male pronoun here. Then want is a verb here. So that is written in simple present tense. So it is changed into simple past. Hence it is written as wanted. Wanted to go for a movie. There is no other word here. So we don't have to change. Okay. There is no other things that we have to change here. So we are not changing anything. Okay. Now the next sentence is Sarah said the flower is pretty. So how will you change? Sarah said. We remove the inverted comma. So and we write it as that. Sarah said that the flower is pretty. See, is has come here. So what did we learn? When is comes, we have to change it into was. So the flower was pretty. Don't forget that only if the reporting verb is said, we have to change the tense. Okay. So this is about simple present tense. Next is present continuous tense. What is the formula of present continuous tense, children? Do you remember? Am, or, is, or, are plus verb plus ing. Okay. So in which tense this dialogue is written here? Ritu said, I am driving to office. So we understand that it is written, am is also there and also ing form is there. Okay. So we understand that it is written in simple present tense. So how will you change it into indirect speech? Ritu, before starting to change it into indirect speech, we need to check the reporting verb. Reporting verb is said. So we have to change the tense form. So Ritu said that she was driving to office. I has been changed. The pronoun I has been changed to the same person of the subject of the reporting verb. What is the subject here? Ritu is the subject. So it is a female gender. So we have to use the female pronoun which is she. Okay. She, am driving will be changed to past continuous. What is the formula of past continuous, children? Was or were plus verb plus ing. Because it is singular, we use was, the helping verb was. Okay. So she was driving, ing form of the verb, driving to office. Okay. Now the next example, Naveen said, I am learning to play the guitar. Okay. So what is the first thing you have to check? Reporting verb. Reporting verb is written in past form. So said. Then I am learning. So am learning is there. So you understand that it is in present continuous tense. So I has been changed to he. Am learning should be changed to was learning. So the sentence would be, Naveen said that he was learning to play the guitar. Okay. Now the next one is present perfect tense. Present perfect tense should be changed to past perfect tense. What is the formula of present perfect tense, children? Yes, has or have plus past participle of the verb, right? So what is the formula of past perfect tense? Had plus past participle of the verb. So let's see, children. The principal said all the students have passed. See, here we understand that it is written in present perfect tense because the word have is used. The verb that is used here is have. Okay, so it should be changed to past perfect tense. So how will you write that sentence in indirect speech? The principal said that All the students have should be changed to had passed. Okay. There is no any pronoun here, so we do not have to change the pronoun. Now the next example. John said, I have seen this movie 3 times already. So how will you start the sentence? John said that. Then I should be changed to the same person of the subject. What is the subject here? John is the subject, which is a male gender. So we have to use male pronoun. What is that? He. Okay. So I should be changed to he. Have seen. We understand that this is written in present perfect tense. So we have to change it to past perfect tense. Hence the words would be had seen, and this movie 3 times already. So this, when the word this comes in a sentence, you have to change it into that. So that movie 3 times already. Okay. Next is simple past. When simple past is a tense used in the dialogue, we have to change it into past perfect tense. Okay. So let's look at the example, children. Reina said, I composed a poem. What is the verb here, children? Yes, the verb is composed. Composed is the verb here, right? So we understand that it is the past form of the verb, right? So it is in simple past, and we do not have any other helping verb before that word, right? So we understand that it is simple past form. So if simple past is the tense used in direct speech, we have to change it into past perfect tense. What is the formula of past perfect tense? Had plus past participle of the verb. So composed should be changed into had composed. Hence the sentence would be, Reina said that I should be changed into the same person of the subject of the reporting verb. What is the subject here? Reina. Reina is a female gender. So we have to use female pronoun, which is she. She had composed a poem. Okay. Next example. He said, I arrived before you. Okay. So he said, to whom it is said? To me only, right? So because nothing is mentioned here. So he said that I. Instead of I, what do we have to write? He. Okay. Arrived is the verb here. So we understand that it is written in simple past. So it should be changed into past perfect, which is had arrived. Had arrived before me. You should be changed to me. Okay. Now the next one is past continuous tense. When past continuous tense comes in a sentence, you have to change it into past perfect continuous tense. What is the formula of past perfect continuous tense, children? Is had plus been plus past participle of the verb. So let's look at the example. Mohana said, Rohan was playing with his friends after school. This is the dialogue that we have to change into indirect speech. So how will you write that? Mohana said that Rohan, what is the verb here? Was playing. We understand that was plus ing form of the verb is past continuous tense, right? So we have to change it into past perfect continuous. So it should be changed to was playing should be changed to had been playing with his friends after school. Okay. Now the next sentence. They said they were taking exercise. Okay. So they said that. They is a pronoun. So we do not have to change anything because it is a third person pronoun, right? So third person plural pronoun. So were taking is the verb here. What is the verb here, children? Yes. Were taking is a verb. So we understand that it is in past continuous tense. So we have to change it into were taking should be changed to past perfect continuous tense, which is had been taking exercise. So the sentence would be they said that they had been taking exercise. Okay. Next one, there is no change in past perfect and past perfect continuous tense. We write the same thing. Okay. So let's look at the example sentences. They said they had taken exercise. What is the verb here, children? Yes, had taken is the verb here, right? So we understand that because had has come, we understand that it is in past form and it is in past participle form. The main verb is in past participle form. So we understand that it is written in past perfect tense. So we do not have to change the tense. So the sentence would be, they said that they had taken exercise. Next one, Meena said the packets had been distributed. What is the verb here, children? Yes. Had been distributed. See, here had is there, which is a past form. Then been is also there. So we understand that. And distributed. So this is in past form, past perfect form. So we do not have to change. Okay. So it should be, Meena said that the packets had been distributed. That is why in the previous slide I showed you a table. Hope you remember that. So when had been comes, there it is written. When had been comes, we do not have to change. You have to just write the same thing. Okay. Next is regarding a few words that you have to change. We already saw in one example when the word this came in the sentence, we changed it into that. So likewise, when the word these comes in a sentence, we have to change it into those. When now comes in a sentence, we have to change it into then. When the word ago comes in a sentence, we have to change it into before. Today should be replaced with the word that day. Okay, when today comes, you have to replace the word today with that day when you write it into indirect speech. Tonight should be written as that night. Tomorrow can be written in two ways, either the next day or the following day. Okay, in two ways we can write it. Then yesterday, the previous day. Okay. Next one, last week should be written as the previous week. Next day, the following day. Here should be written as there. Okay, so these are the other things that you have to remember when you change it into indirect speech. Example, let's look at some examples. Sohan said, I went there last week. Okay, so we'll write the first part. Sohan said that. I should be changed into he because the subject is Sohan, male gender. So we use a male pronoun he. Went is written in which tense, children? Past form, right? Simple past, right? So because it is in simple past, we have to change it into past perfect tense, which is had gone. Had gone there last week. How do we write last week? Last week as a previous week, the previous week. Okay, last week should be changed into the previous week. Okay, so the sentence would be, Sohan said that he had gone there the previous week. Next example, he said Rita bought this car a week ago. Okay, so we'll write it as, he said that Rita bought is simple past, so it should be written in past perfect tense, which is had bought. Rita had bought. This will be changed to the word that. Okay, that car. This car will become that car a week ago. Ago should be written as before. Okay, when ago comes in a sentence, you have to change it into before. Next is regarding changes of modal auxiliaries. As I said, which all are modal auxiliaries, children? Can, could, shall, should, will, would. All these are called as may, might. All these are called as modal auxiliaries. So when can comes in a sentence, what do we have to do? When can comes in a dialogue, we have to change it into could. Okay. So the dialogue, let's look at the example. He said, I can speak 5 languages. Okay. So when you change it, we know that the modal auxiliary can is written. So when you change it, you have to write it as, he told me that he could speak. See, I should be changed into he because the subject is male gender. Subject of the reporting verb is male gender. So he should be written here. He can should be changed into could. He could speak 5 languages. Okay. One thing I want to tell you other than this is that when you use the word told, okay, when you use the word told, do not use told to me, told to her. That is a wrong usage. Very often we have seen that students writing in that way, but that is wrong. When told is used, you should not use the word to there, okay, infinitive to there, or you do not have to use the word to there. So it should be written, he told me that he could speak 5 languages. Then the next example, she said, I may buy a new TV today. Okay. So the word, the auxiliary, model auxiliary may is there, right? So may should be changed to might. So the sentence would be, she told me that she might buy a new TV that day. Okay. See, when the object is not mentioned, when it is said like this, it is understood that it is said to me. Okay. So the object is me there. Okay. So you can bring out that change in the sentence. If the pronoun is I and the object is not mentioned here in the reporting verb, next to the reporting verb, if the object is not mentioned, then you have to understand that it is said to me. Okay. Next one, will should be changed to would. Example, they said we will meet you tomorrow. Okay. So the first part is they said that. We should be changed into they. Okay. We use the same person of the subject, they. We should be changed to they. Will should be changed to would. When will comes in a sentence, we have to change it into would. Meet you tomorrow. So you, as I said, it should be understood as me there. Object should be understood as me there, though it is not mentioned. So meet you should be replaced with me. Would meet me. Tomorrow should be changed to the next day. So the sentence would be, they told me that they would meet me the next day. Next one is shall. When the model auxiliary shall comes in a sentence, you have to change it into should. So the example sentence is, he said, I shall do my homework. I shall do my homework. So when you change it, the sentence would be, he said that. I should be changed, right? So I, same person of the subject of the reporting verb. He is the person, that means male gender, so male pronoun, he. Shall should be changed into should. He should do his. My should be changed into his homework. Okay. The possessive adjective my should be changed into his homework. His. Okay. So the sentence would be, he said that he should do his homework. Next one, when have or has comes in a sentence, it should be changed to had. We already saw that. Let's look at the example. She said, my brother has to hit the books. So when you change it, you will write it as, she told me that. My brother should be changed to, what is the subject here? She. So her. Okay, my should be changed to her. Her brother. Has should be changed to had. So had to hit the books. Next one, he said, I have to keep up with my classmates. Okay, here have is there, so it should be changed to had. So the sentence would be, he said to me that he had to keep up with his classmates. Okay. Now let's please try to do these sentences, children. The teacher said, students, you have to attend the lecture tomorrow. So how will you write the sentence? How will you write the sentence into indirect speech? The teacher, to whom it is said, the teacher said, she has already addressed to whom she is speaking to. It is written students, right? So the teacher told the students that you should be changed to, because it is students, it should be written as they. They have to attend is the verb, so it should be written as had to attend the lecture tomorrow. Tomorrow is again the word that you have to change, so it should be written as the next day. So, the sentence would be, the teacher told the students that they had to attend the lecture the next day. Next question is, the boy said, I have been working very hard since last night. So, which are the words that you have to change? I you have to change, have been tense you have to change, because the word is written, the reporting verb is said, and last night also have to be changed, right? So, how will you write that sentence? The boy said that I has been changed because it is male gender. So, it is male pronoun is the one which we have to use. So, he have been should be changed to had been working very hard since last night has to be changed to the previous night. Okay. Next question. He said to me, I want you to read the book now. Okay. So, which all words you have to change? I should be changed. Because it is said, we have to change the tense as well. You should be changed, and now also has to be changed, right? So, when you change it, when you write it into indirect speech, how will you write? He told me that I has been changed into he, because the subject is he. So, we can write that. He want you, I want is simple present tense, right? So, it should be changed into simple past. So, he wanted to read the book, now should be changed into then. Okay. You here you have to write he wanted me to read the book then. He wanted me to read. You should be changed into me because the object is me, right? So, here we can write it as me. It is understood. So, that is the end of direct and indirect speech. Hope you have understood the basic rules. Please, only if you are thorough with the tenses, you will be able to change the tense form accurately. So, please be thorough with your tenses as well, and also do not forget these rules, these things that you have to remember when you change the sentences into indirect speech. Okay. Hope you have understood the topic, children. Thank you.